Last time on Roadworthy Rescues, you saw a guy trying to pull this T-bird from Texas to Tennessee with this old travel-all. The guy found this really cool 1968 Ford T-bird way down in Texas, but it was physically stuck in this garage. The wheels were locked up. It was covered in dew. It was terrible. So we decided to get this old travel-all, which also hadn't run in almost 30 years. It's running! Yes! Sounds terrible! Perfect! For this rig to go down the road, let alone tow something, I had to do some upgrades. Threw on a 4-barrel intake, 4-barrel carb, put in a water pump, fixed the ignition, and a few other doodads. Don't worry about that. The only thing this is going to pull is ex-wives. Oh, great. Got it fired up and literally drug the T-bird out of the garage. We might have hit a couple things, but mostly unscathed. Now, I'm trying to pull this T-bird 800 miles from Texas all the way back to Tennessee. So far, she's pulling great. Got no temp gauge, got no oil pressure, got no fuel gauge. Actually, I do have a fuel gauge. It's called Look. We're about half a tank. It was going really good until, well, it wasn't. Oh, something is terribly amiss. Yeah, let's pull off here. I got a lot of smoke in the cab. Now there's power steering and motor oil and transmission oil everywhere. Hey, good morning. Truck's doing great. Well, I said last night it was doing great. What I failed to mention is exploding oil out of every single thing that holds oil. Power steering line burst, sprayed it all over the manifold. Transmission pan is leaking. The oil has ejected everywhere, so I'm trying to dial that up this morning, figure that out. Gonna hook up the crankcase ventilation system, hopefully reduce the pressure in the block, and maybe eliminate some of that wanting to come out the top end. Oil-soaked air filter, that's okay. They used to do that back in the old days. Got air up a tire on the turd bird, and we're gonna hit the road. Kind of rainy, gloomy day, but that's okay. We're gonna get some nice sights in and just cruise. Have a good day at 55, 60. Call it 700 miles to go from Texas to Vice Grip Garage in Tennessee. Well, day 2 on the road so far is going very well. We're getting about 5.4 miles to the gallon. Nice. It handles great. The old Internationals, what a tow rig. But this has been a good trip so far. I hope it remains to be uneventful, i.e. the transmission stays in the truck. That'd be great. You gotta turn left when you brake. You gotta keep your head on a swivel. Sandals! You're speeding, sir! I gotta fix this mirror. That took me aback. The jam on the brakes, it built enough pressure where it must have blew a rear brake line. The rear pod is completely empty. But we've been traveling in rain all day, so everything is dripping and weeping right now. So that means we have to try to do brake line surgery right here, I guess. The good news is I didn't miss church this week. That's pretty cool. Midas eat your heart out. We got church brakes. Okay, front drums, shoes adjusted. theoretically automatic, but I can't back up and let them auto-adjust the lathe. So I spooned them out with the flathead screwdriver, so where they're slightly dragging. Now we'll have good front brakes again. Turns out we don't have a pop line in the back. We might have a weeping wheel cylinder, so I'm just going to bleed the master cylinder, plug the line back in, and top it off every time we get fuel. Okay, let's go. Last night was an adventure. What a drive. Between poor visibility, my poor eyesight, no power steering, and flooded roads, you know, the Honda Maximuses were burning. But we made it in. However, this morning I did decide to go ahead and replace this wheel cylinder. Apparently after they sit for 30 years, if you double stomp it with size 13s, they just blow it out, you know. She's not looking so hot. It'd be nice to have something with brakes, so we're going to fix this up quick. Rebuilding, brand new, all that brake fluid. And then I can't remember how many miles left, 300 something, and then we'll finally make it back to Tennessee. Hopefully nothing else happens. If it ain't bread, leave it in the shed. International. We're getting like 5 miles to the gallon and we got a headwind today, so it's gonna be less, but we're headed to the Natchez Trace Trail. We got a few stops planned along the way. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing else happens bad. I took a right turn to check the oil and ended up on a section line betwixt some row crops here. I did have the turd bird clean, but now it's probably full of mud. On the road again, about to go to Natchez Trace again. You know, when it comes to these old vehicles and reviving them, other than the history and story of the vehicle itself, my favorite thing is the journey home. And in this case, we're just now turning on the Natchez Trace, which boasts thousands of years of history. It's a 444-mile scenic drive that extends through 3 states, and American Indians have traveled on it. European settlers, traders, trappers, soldiers, presidents, you name it. And this highway closely follows the original path. I've never been on it. I heard it's breathtaking. It's got plenty of turns and ups and downs and vegetation and trees and you name it. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Might as well enjoy the trip. Oh, I like the speed limit too, 50. Right up our alley. Nacho Trail. I hope it has cheese and jalapeno. Some hamburger wouldn't hurt. And maybe some olives and onion. Oh, we made it. Bicycle Garage, South Central Tennessee, 800 miles. We found this international travel out in a backyard, sitting for almost 30 years. Got it fired up and hit the road. And not only did it drive 800 miles, it towed 800 miles. That Ford big block turd bird back there. Speaking of which, you're going to see that next. So stay tuned. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, it was a very late night driving through the pouring rain. Well, pretty much rained the whole journey, but we actually made it here, and that in itself, in my opinion, is a massive win. We found the 68 Thunderbird sitting in a garage for almost 30 years, but it was just too disgusting to work on in that case. Now you can finally see in light how nasty this car is. It is terrible. I've been doing this for a couple decades now, and this one is up there. Oh, the wind is really kicking it up. So I think I'm just going to throw a mask on, get some gloves on, roll the floor mats up, and then I'm going to vacuum this outside and try to get that to just blow into the cattle up there. Sorry about that. Note to self, don't eat hamburger this year. Okay, so let's get the vacuum and just get to work here. Definitely want to be upwind. Basically the same rules for farts. Such a disturbing sound. That's how wet the carpet is. Hazard pay. This is how I die. This is exactly how I die. Oh. This was a terrible purchase. Completely full. Oh my gosh. I've heard that sound. Got a carcass. Oh, there went another one. We got 2 mice. I have never. This is worse than the Mustang, I think. How's your day going? Mine's a little duty. Sorry about that one. Anyway, now that we can stand next to this without carrying around an IV bag, let's fire up the pressure washer and see what the outside looks like. We're going to soak this whole thing down with your standard dish soap, let it sit for a minute, pressure wash it again, and then I might actually have to touch it with a rag or something. Ugh. That's wild. You see all the grease on it, it's just shedding right off like a wax job. There's a potato chip company I'm going to leave unnamed that made potato chips. And through the broken window that the raccoons came through, all that fryer grease kind of congealed and mixed with the urine and poo and made this layer here. But the hope is we want to uncover what is supposed to be a brand new paint job under this. Huh. Doesn't look like I did anything the last hour. Status report. It's now high noon, and the car looks exactly the same. Chemicals galore. Tried scrubbing it, pressure washing it. Whatever the potato chip raccoon combination is, it's stuck to this paint. How about this? Let's get it in the shed. Now let's just see if this thing runs, right? It like moves stuff before we put 97 hours of labor into the paint. Although it would go on Craigslist well that way. Lots of receipts, could run. So I've already plugged off a vacuum leak. We borrowed permanently the vacuum check valve for the brake booster for the travel wall, which got us here. Looks like we got completed. We got lightning whirler in it. All the hoses are on. So we're just going to hit it with a hot battery. Luckily enough, Ford and Mopar have what's called a steel me junction. Essentially, we don't need a key to even fire this thing up. And since the key is on the dash on this, it doesn't even lock the steering wheel. So if a guy can get a hood open, boom, free T-Bird. All I'm going to do here is jump power to the coil, and then I'm going to jump power from the battery to my start solenoid over here, and we'll be able to crank this thing over. That's pretty good, and then just a little splash. That was way too much. Bring in the thunders. Yeah. She's a runner. Valve train isn't clanking. Means it's probably making oil pressure. Water pump isn't froze up, none of that stuff. It's like it was shut off yesterday. Minus the missing and shaking and smoking and barely running. I was hoping that would be a lot harder because now I have to do something with the paint, don't I? Victorious! So here's the plan. I don't really have one, other than this has to get into the shop. We're west of Rusty Acres up here on Motor Mountain. We gotta aim for Valve Cover Valley. We don't know if it moves because we don't have a drive shaft and I'm not hitting the brake pedal. So, surfing in the USA! Oh boy, oh boy. Ain't nothing zip ties and vice grips can't fix. Left. Aha! Okay, now we're going to lift this up with the forks, and then I'm going to side shift it over onto the lift because we're about to fall off. I hooked my peepers onto the car. The trunk floor is absolutely gone, so we're not damaging anything, so just relax, okay? Ouch, my head. So I got my buddy here, Kevin Tates from Paint Education. He's been around collision, hot rods, custom builds, you name it, stuff like this. I'm hoping if anybody knows what to do, it's you with this vehicle. So here's the deal with this car. We found it in this old cinder block garage. Urine, fryer grease, 30 years of dirt and dust. We tried to power wash it and clean it and scrub it. We were told by this old man, I painted it fresh, parked it in the garage, and that was it. So I want to know, is it a fresh paint job? Is it the original color? And then see if we can bring it back, because I don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction and just say, well, this just paint it again, or this just clear it, or this just leave it.
Well, the last thing you want to do is start throwing harsh stuff at it. What I always do is just do an inspection. If it's a good paint job, they're taking trim off, and they're going to put the trim back on after the paint. If it's a quick and dirty, they're taping stuff up, and they're working around it. So right here, you see this antenna bezel?
Yep.
You see the paint buildup there?
Oh, yeah.
Bam. There you go. Strike one. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, strike two. And in the door jambs, the seals are painted too.
Oh, everything.
Everything, the VIN numbers, all that type of stuff. So we know that maybe this was a drug running mule or something like that. And somebody ran it through a barn just like a Smokey and the Bandit and shot it real quick. So it's probably not the best quality paint. It's an aftermarket paint job, and that's fine. So we know what we're working with. Because of the way this looks, even through the dirt, I can see it's fairly glossy. It's a single-stage paint job over top of the original paint. So you're kind of winning on that level. And it's, for the most part, in pretty okay shape. So if we can revive this paint, you can probably make it look really good, Derek.
That's what I was looking forward to hearing. Yes. All right, show me how to clean this.
All right, so we're going to go least aggressive first. That's always the best thing. That way we're not doing any damage unless we have to. So I've got a citrus cleaner. There's a lot of different companies that have that. And citrus cleaners, if you know, I mean, they're really super strong. All right, let's see what that did.
Oh, yeah, that's way more gooder.
Wow. I mean, look at the contrast already. That's 30 seconds with a good cleaner on it. That gets us home. So now let's see how thick that paint is.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be a combination of the original paint and whatever else they put on it. Holy smokes. Okay.
Is that a good holy smokes?
That's a lot. Okay, so for instance, your average new vehicle has got 6 to 10 mils.
We've got 40?
Total film. We've got 44.72 mils. There's a lot of paint on there. It may have more than one paint job on it. Or it's super thick, or they put 5 coats on. My guess, we probably save to sand and polish if we have to.
Okay.
But before we clean it and sand it, all of it, let's see what we can do with the small spot. See if just polish will bring it up. This is my go-to for almost everything. It's aggressive, but it polishes out super smooth. It's kind of a one-step for me. So it's a water-based compound, which is really good. So I don't know about you.
Oh, wow.
But I can comb my hair in that. Within a few minutes, you've got a recipe to wake this thing up.
If the whole car looks like this, that's
Right.
pretty good. Well, thanks, man. I knew you'd be the guy to call. It sounds like we could make this thing shine, but I think first step is we should probably make it run and drive. We'll deal with this a little bit later. But Matt, thank you so much.
No problem, man.
This has been great.
This is fun. I want to ride in this thing.
Did you smell it yet?
No.
Don't do it. Well, now that we know that it could potentially look really sharp and that this runs somewhat okay-ish, I think we go ahead and spend the time, dig into this engine and make it run a lot better. Now, we think this is a 460, fairly certain, based on the identification plate on the valve cover, and it's obviously a big block, but 460s didn't come in this year T-Bird. So it's been swapped in from most likely a mid to late 70s truck motor, which would put out a whopping 200 some horse, let's be honest. However, they are fairly torquey motors. Nothing beats a big block in that aspect. But this stock style intake and this motorcraft fuel make it happener, that's got to go. Here's an idea. What if we put a new performance dual plane intake on this and put a Holley Sniper on this thing and let it tune itself? And we'll get maximum horsepower, fuel economy, ease of starts, all of that. And then we'll obviously do an ignition tune-up. We'll put an HEI in it, dump the coil and points, put an exhaust system on this. We should have a tire-frying Ford big block. Or at least that's the idea. I'm going to start by taking the hood off, and then we've just got to thrash and get all of the garbly, gook, whatnots, and accoutrements off of this engine. Oh, I don't think that was right. I mean, so far, I'm enjoying this, gotta be honest. That's better. Oh my goodness. Corpus Christi. I'm gonna have to try to pluck all that out. This is oil from the 60s and 70s. It's a very high mile motor that has not been taken care of. So, we're gonna try to take care of it. We're trying to get all the huge, giant chunks of stuff out of here because the lifter cups are just full of this junk. And I don't want to have one of these lifters go flat or something like that. These push rods and the lifters need to spin in these bores, and they ride on the cam lobe. This cam lobe here is a good example, only part of it's shiny because it actually has a taper on it, which makes that lifter rotate with the push rod. If that gets full of this gum and varnish and buildup, it's not going to move. And it's just going to smoke one of these lifters or a cam lobe. So I'm trying to flush all of this back into the pan, but I want this to get as clean as possible before we cover it back up with a shiny new intake. So guys been working away at this, and now it's bone dry. It is just, because brake clean dissipates quickly and dries up. So I'm going to use some of this valve train assembly spray, and this is typically used when you assemble an engine, but it helps against initial dry starts, which we're going to have here until it builds oil pressure again. There. Now intake time. What are you doing? Pretty good, Pat. That's why I keep them around. So here we've got a dual plane intake. This one's by Wyan. We'll be able to get our Holley Sniper up on this here. And it's still got the provision for the standard or factory throttle cable, so that's pretty nice. It's just got 74 different pipe plugs we got to plug up, but we'll do that down the road. So here we have a points distributor. So inside of here you can see the contacts or points, and as it rotates, it opens and closes. This is cool, it's great, it works, but we're going to be upgrading it to a GM style HEI or high energy ignition. And basically this has the coil built in. Everything is right here. All we need to do is just hit it with 12 volts and bam, upgraded. So we should have a better, more consistent, more reliable spark. And we'll figure out timing later. Went ahead and put some new valve covers on. Just decided to plop these on. They were cheap enough. got our new intake on, and then our sniper, which is basically fuel injection, right? So we're going to be able to maximize our horsepower, fuel economy, easy starts, and all of that stuff. This is a new Sniper 2. They actually moved the ECU in these. Instead of having it up front right next to the HEI, they've switched it around over here. I've been told it's taken care of the RFI issues sometimes that you would get with that. So now I just got to dig through this manual here, start figuring out, well, digicals. I don't like them. I'm going to have to figure it out, though. Fade to black commercials. So our T-Bird's got what we assume is a late 70s smogged out 460. They don't make a ton of horsepower. They do make some torque. So we're trying to snooze this thing up a little bit, hopefully turn it into a tire fryer. Guys had a really productive day. I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at with the rig. Fairly close to trying to fire this thing back up on EFI. Linkage is done. Vacuum lines are done. Vacuum line of the boosters in. Our ignition system is complete. We got lightning hoses, sparkulators in. We've got the lines run to the Sniper as well. We've also got the new fuel tank, fuel straps, new fuel sending unit, fuel pump and fuel filter in the rear. Now I just need to run the lines up to the front of the car and plug her into the unit. Woo! That's hotter than Shania Twain in the 90s. How do I live without you? Just tell me. I want to know. So a guy's wiring up the Holley Sniper up front here, and I'm to the point I need to find a 12-volt switched source. And to do that, you need a key. Found the key. Mark this one off the list. I don't like the fact that my head's so far into this car. Oh, by the way, had the seats sent off to get reupholstered because they were that terrible. They should be back soon. And that's good. You want new seats when your T-Bird doesn't run. Wait, is this the first roadworthy car with a key? That's pretty good. It's only season 3. It works. We have it. We have an ignition stick, and never mind. We had a spare. We have one key. It's pretty good. Come here, cat. I will not feed you if you do not come here. Fine. Well, little June bug. Time for exhaust. I've got my friend Chad here from Volunteer Muffler out of Cookeville, Tennessee. And we want to do true duals. This had some really neck-down exhaust with some old muffler, chambered kind of mufflers on it. We want it to be a little bit more loud, kind of a nice grumble tone at idle, but, you know, we feed the onions to her. We want it to be loud, loud.
That's right.
And then I got some Black Widow, I think they're called neighbor haters. So we tried them on that Trans Am. They sounded pretty good.
They did. They sound really good on that car.
This is also low compression, high cube, so we should have a similar tone to that. It is going to completely transform the look of this car. While he's doing that, I'm putting the drive shaft back in so Chad can fit the exhaust. He's going to swoop down and then snug it in towards the drive pole, and then he'll come back out. But he needs us in here to check his clearances and stuff like that. Eric, can I borrow that 4-footer? Oh, hey, Schmidt. Yeah, there. Thanks. What do you do? Oh, fuel pump. Nice. Yeah. Good seeing you.
You two will be on the other side of the partition.
All my screwdrivers are gone. Every tool's missing. Got no lights. Someone drank my Christmas coffee. Well, it was a busy day at the YouTube headquarters of Ice Cream Garage. We got this build going on here. You got Chad back there banging on the muffler machine. You got my friends over here in the other bay working on a pickup. We've got Roadkill, Freiberg, and Spell working on a turbo Firebird Trans Am thing. There's a lot happening. You want to try it again? See if I got to do it one more time? Yep. We're going to lose the shop if we don't get this done. Somehow, some way, the Chad, the muffler man himself, has tweaked in some 2.5 exhaust pipes up and over, and we're just setting up the tip right now. You gotta have tips and jips, you know what I mean? Now instead of 1.5-inch water line hanging out the back, got real exhaust. That looks good, Chad. Great work. Thank you, sir. So, Chappelle and Freiberger have successfully installed a transmission. They're gonna see if it's gonna shift. This is one of those face finds. Rebuilt lots of receipts, you know.
Well, now that we broadcasted it, I think we're ready to, bump it up and get out of here.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime. See you guys. Drive safe. No problem. Oh, it's got brake lights. Wow. Jeez. And I said one cookie. Don't leave a trail. I've never even tore it up this bad. This is pretty entertaining. That's about 15 bales down there. The inspection cover slamming on the torque converter sounds awesome. Well, you know, it won't overheat. That's good. So Chad's all finished with the exhaust. That looks fantastic. I can't wait to hear that. I'm going to move on to this Holly and finishing it up so we can fire this thing up. Normally, we'd be doing the EFI handheld, which is a little 3.5-inch screen where you can enter a tune and monitor the system and all the vitals of the engine. But they have something new out. It's like a Bluetooth puck thing. I don't know. Apparently, you can run from your digital pocket computer device. So I'm going to throw that somewhere in the car, and we're going to tune this thing with our phone, and then we're going to be able to go through the paces, create a bass tune, and then it should fire. There's the fuel pump. Let it build a little pressure. Oh, Lord have mercy. Take this up. Take a peek. Yep. This is what happens when you're working on 3 vehicles at once. This is because of roadkill right here. All right? And attention to detail. Forgot where I was. And they owe me like 14 hay bales. I'm writing HR. See if it fires. Oh, look at that! Wow! It's already idling down. Look at that. Well, I was going to say adjust the timing, but then again, I put it in, so it's, you know. It's dialed. Oh! Just like that. Went from running like not good to yes. And very loud. Very, very loud. We might get a burnout out of this. She's charging. She's right at 13.5 air fuel. TPS or the IAX at 1, which is perfect. That means our throttle position sensor and how we have the idle set is right where the computer wants to see it, and it is currently learning. So the more it sits, the more it learns. The more you drive, the more it learns. It just gets smarter and smarter. just like the mufflers suggest. My neighbors probably hate me now. I think that's going to do it for tonight. It runs, it's alive, but tomorrow we've got like brakes, and then we should probably check if it like shifts into gear and is going to move and stuff. And then, lastly, that stuff. Okay. Well, good morning. We're back on the thunder turd we found down in Texas. We pulled her back to Tennessee here, and we're going through this thing, trying to get it back on the road. Got it running late last night. Man, it sounds so good with the exhaust and the Holley Sniper on this thing. But we got one problem. There's absolutely no brake hardware, well, at least on this side. This wheel was locked solid when we pulled it out of the garage with the travel wall. So I'm going to start going through the brakes. I at least need hardware here to see if the master cylinder is doing anything with the brake juice, and we'll go from there. Buckle up. This is another brake job. Woo! Oh, sesquicentennial. 200 years. That's not right. Is that 150 years? 8th grade, coming back. Now, it is time to tackle this. It's time to tackle this paint. I don't know what Kevin did. I scrubbed this roof until I almost caved it in, and then he just showed up and went, ooh, look, why am I here? That's great. So I'm going to do the same thing. Citrus cleaner, rags, literal elbow grease. Get all of this gross, yucky stuff off, and then start buffing. And while that's going to happen, new windshield, because we can't see out of it, and it's also broken. As a reminder, this is a really potent mix of potato chip, fryer grease, raccoon and rat pee, and the very authentic 3-decade garage dust. So many people passed on this car this guy was selling. Super nice guy. But no one wanted this car because of how terrible it smelled and all of the feces and urine in the vehicle. And I just want to say for the record, they were smart. I was not. But listen, paint is clean. The paint is polished. And we got the windshield in. So now it's finally time to do something with the interior. Finished. Okay. Look at this beautiful 68 Thunderbird. There are so many people, well, rightfully so, that would have passed and did pass on this T-Bird when I opened up that garage door. But I saw a ton of potential in this car. And as you can see, it is a qualified and certified going to town rig. We had to address the engine first off. It didn't run very good. We hopped it up with a 4-barrel intake, put a Holley Sniper 2 on it, addressed some of the belts and hoses and ignition and lightning hoses and sparkulators, new fuel system, fuel tank, sending unit lines, filters, and a digital pump to go along with that. We had to fix the brakes in the back. They got all new drums, shoes, hardware. We also put new soft lines in it. Speaking of stopping, we got these new 17s, and they look incredible. It really completes the look. It kind of John Wickish. Except I don't know how to, I just hurt my back actually on that one. Interior, boy, that was an absolute disaster, an unhealthy one. But look at it now. It's got new carpet, reupholstered front seats, looks great, and that's all it literally took. New windshield, and of course the paint. The guy was not barking up a tree. This is brand new paint that is now 30 years old. Terribly done, but man, after cutting it and buffing it, It absolutely shines and looks brilliant. And of course, the whole journey started by using that travel all on the hill to yank this thing out of the garage. We literally drug it into the street and then towed it 800 miles back here to Tennessee so we could start digging in. Now my favorite part. Let's go put this thing on the road. Have some fun with it. Sun's going down. First impression? Yes. 30 years this car sat in that little garage. And it's just too bad it was parked. It's actually not that bad other than the leaking brake booster you hear right now. Seems to ride decent. Ready? Ah! We didn't roll into the ditch. It's pretty good. I don't have an oil pressure gauge, which is probably good, but everything else is doing fine so far. Horn works. What else do you need? So many people would have passed on this thing, and it's a shame. I'm glad we could get it back on the road. It's a sleek car. Fun to look at. So far, really fun to drive. Not bad. Cows are heading for water already. Oh no! I did not make it far. Already hot. Oh boy. It's pretty sweet while it lasted. 3rd degree burns on my hand. Ouch. It's at least 290 degrees. So it's probably a bad water pump. Something similar. I am going to let it cool down and drive it just a little bit farther because it's fun driving. And it looks great. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but stay tuned, there's plenty more to save. Oh, and this does prove you can polish a turd. We exhume a Studebaker that's been off the road for 39 years. The search for forgotten classic cars has brought a guy to north central Oklahoma. You might assume it's these beautiful square bodies back here, but it's not. It's actually what's stored in the shipping container back here. It's a pretty eclectic, rare, and unique car. Let's check it out. It's probably worth noting this car was bought sight unseen. That's just the way it goes. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we... Let's see what we got in here. Let's see what's in here. Haha, yes! A 1947 Studebaker Champion, but it's even the Starlight Coupe, which makes this girl actually very rare and sought after. That's the rear of the car. Can't quite see it. These were made from 39 to 58. This is a 3rd generation, which was 47 to 52. I actually have a couple of these old gals, and they're really neat cars. This one's been sitting in here for a handful of years. It's supposed to maybe sort of run, but we're told that it just doesn't have brakes. That's weird. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's check this thing out as much as we can. It's pretty tight in here, but that's just the way she goes. So from 1947 to 1955 on the Champion and Commander models, Studebaker offered this really cool spaceship-looking glass, and this was the Starlight Coupe. They're actually very hard to find, and they're even harder to find with this glass intact. They usually get robbed, stolen, borrowed forever, or unfortunately broken out. This one appears to be complete, which already means this purchase is awesome. You can see this kind of weird boat shape. This is a very World War II-esque kind of shape that cars went through. And Studebaker was at the front of just really weird designs, like how you open the trunk back here by pulling that lever. And then it kind of hides away. I'm surprised that opened, actually. We can't really walk around this thing too much, but I can tell you from this side anyway, it looks rust-free. And we're going to pretend we looked at the other side and it's also rust-free. Yes. Also, there are some incredible Ellis Charmels lawnmowers in here, including a 920 diesel and a couple B12s. That's really sweet. I guess let's look inside. Oh, that's typical. Don't worry about that. All right. Wow, we got some saggage, some seat coverage, some cuppage. Ooh, smells like a litter box full of wet socks. It's enticing. But look how beautiful this interior is. You got just all these beautiful ornate knobs and the gold and the way the gauges are set up and everything in here. These are just really cool cars. The levers on the car, the outside, inside, the trunk, all were really, really neat. But the hood, not so much. It's actually this guy right here. And they most commonly don't work. The optimistic plan is to get this running, make it, a little bit roadworthy, and drive it, I don't even know how many hundreds of miles back to Tennessee. Triage. By the way, I should mention, I'm not a Studebaker expert. Anyway, let's open the hood. Should have a cute little flathead in here. Oh, there she goes. Oh, yeah. We got completage. Minus the battery, of course. Never got a battery. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all still there. I'll be dipped. Got a newish-ish looking fuel pump. We got the fuel make happener still on there. That's good. Of course, it's a point system. Starter's still in it. It's got all the right hoses and whatnot. Dual horns. Wow. Original rad. Hello? That's empty. We're off to a good start here. It's got some juice in it. It's 4-quart slow. It's fine. We should probably make sure this thing turns over and even runs. And then we got to figure out if we're actually going to put a master cylinder in this or if we're going to trade it for that 55 Ford sitting over there. So I think the first thing a guy's going to do is just make sure the engine spins over freely by hand. It's been sitting a long time. I actually just noticed walking around again, the plate says 85, which is carry the 4 divided by 6, 39 years. It's a long time. And then we'll figure out if the starter switch works and the relay and the actual starter and all that stuff. Okay? Okay, plan. So I'm just going to grab the fan blades here. Oh, yeah. She's rotating. Oh, I hear compression, too. I'll be dipped. Look at that. Yeah, so we're safe to go ahead and install a battery. And this is a positive ground unit, unless it's been messed with. And we're going to find that out very quickly by doing this. I think we're good. We're trying to see if we have a key. We don't. That's really weird. So there are no ignition sticks. It's dangling out of the dash. I'm gonna assume someone's been doing what I was doing beforehand. And I can't get the door all the way open and I can't wall her in there. Sasquatch. So I'm gonna try to put some wind in the wheels. Got some ramps here off a trailer. Try to push this thing outside where we could see what in the devil is going on with this thing. Here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go now. Guess what? The wheels are locked up. So maybe we hook a chain and we'll just drag it out of here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Here's that plate, 85. This was parked pretty much when I was born. Think about it. I'm going to jump in the trunk, see if the keys are back here. Or what else we have. Wow, the breather is in here for the engine. Check this out. No way. Old school inflator. You don't need them battery ones. You just use this guy. It's pretty cool. We've got ice cube juice. Spot remover, that's a cool can. I'm gonna keep that. We got a mouse house, another brick. We got a ridge wheel. Some more mouse houses. Hello. Time to go. Eminent domain. That's it. No keys, unfortunately. I guess we're gonna have to wire in a lawnmower key or something to this thing, but let's continue to try to jump it with miscellaneous wires, pliers, vice grips, pieces of wood. The starter relay is not starter relaying. Got no brakes, got no running engine, got no key, got no starter. What are the chances we bought one? That. So now I'm going to spend 74,000 hours getting the throttle linkage, part of the distributor, the whole distributor, and other things out, just so I can pull the two bolts out to get this off. Zebra. Yes! Strap. But anyway, good news. We found a starter motor right here that works. I bench tested it on the tailgate over there. Put this back in, then we will resume trying to see if we can get this to start. Oh, and don't forget about the lawnmower key. At least they make them late. You just drive it right out of the container, Derek. And then all you gotta do is put wheels on it. Oh, sweet. Hey, the starter's in. I think I got it hooked back up. I got my lone wolf hooked up. It should make starter noises and turn the engine over. Yes! Barely. Wow, motor is tight. I should just... Whoever called it a funny bone needs to be audited. Okay, this is really just getting on my nerves, and I know it's factory. People are gonna cringe right now, but I ain't got the time. I'm not gonna risk taking the head bolt off. It's the last thing we're gonna do. Yep. Yes. Okay. Yep. All right. Oh, yep. Oh, it's easy. Blowing all of the mouse droppings and welcome notes out of the way. We're going to juice this thing up like Arnold Schwarzenegger with a little bit of whatever this mystery oil is. That cylinder must be up because it's not taking nothing. And then we'll let this sit. It's going to lubricate the rings, the cylinder walls, all of that stuff. And then we'll spin it over and shoot all of it back out. But we're going to let it sit while I'm working on spark and fuel. So these are points or contacts, depends on who you ask and what time of day it is. And their job is simple. They're opening and closing the connection or circuit for the ignition here. When they sit over time, they build up a film or sulfur or some sort of stuff. Bimetallic corrosion, essentially. Okay? And then they don't contact correctly. So I'm just in here with my Leatherman filing away. See? And then we can apply electricity back to the ignition coil, test them, and we should see or hear spark. If you roll it by hand, you can hear it. You hear that clicking? We got spark, that means! Boy, it's 2 cylinders are trying to fire. That's better than 6. Come on, bring the thunder. Keep bringing it. Oh yeah, it's barely even smoking. Keep in mind, most of that's Marvel Mystery Oil. I don't know what's in it. It's a mystery, but it does smoke. Boy, this sounds terrible, doesn't it? £60 of oil pressure, and it's charging. I am going to shut it off, though. It has no water in it. Wow. Well, there you go. The old Studebaker is baking. Probably overbaked. It's smoking a lot. Okay, it sounds horrible. It's pretty good. But we've only got, how many? 700 miles? It seems fine. So let's go ahead and change the oil. Maybe that'll put new bearings in it. And we should consider maybe putting some fresh fuel in it. That might be part of the reason it's running on 1.5 cylinders. Then we'll put some coolant in it. See how bad the head gasket leaks. And then we can test the clutch. And then confirm for the 40th time we don't have brakes. Only place this thing's driving is the junkyard. We got bad valve drain issues. Very bad. It's shooting fuel out the carb, so the valves aren't closing and opening as they should. thing slide. Okay, it's running on 3. Let's see if it moves. Clutch test. First gear. Yep, it might maybe pull itself. Reverse. Oh yeah. First. Yep. Reverse. First. You see where I'm going here? We got a clutch. So here's what a guy's gonna do. I'm gonna jump in this thing, tootle it around the yard here for a second to this machine shed or shop down here. I don't know what it is. And we could continue to work on it there, but this is the first time this car has moved under its own power and long time. This should be pretty fun actually. We're going. Oh wow, the torque. About lost my hat. These were a really nice, elegant, middle luxury car back then. If you sold Maytag dryers or owned a gas station, you probably had one of these back in the day, you know. Oh, left front's a little flat. I think we're on the rim. That's all right. Oh, yep, ignore that. I got no brakes. I also can't turn the ignition off. I didn't think about this very good. One of the main reasons these cars are parked, remember the bandit brake situation there? Yeah, they're, master cylinders in the floor, and they're not the easiest to replace. Some would say you have to cut the entire floor out and then pry and then hit it with hammers, and let's just say I might have been there many times. So you have beautiful cars like this that the brakes fail, the master cylinder in particular, they just get parked because they're such a difficult job. We thought we might have a lift, but it's broke. What? See, this is the problem, is how do you work on it? There's no room to do anything. Good news, this is a brake master cylinder. Why don't we go up top through the duct tape floor, fill this with juice, and just see maybe somehow, some way, this just starts working again. Very unlikely, but let's try it. We could put some juice in it, and maybe the seals would just rejuvenate. Yeah, it just coughed. It's full of rust. Well, the pedal's coming back up. You can't make this stuff up. We might only be running 4 brake lines instead of 12. What I need to do is acquire a bench vise, because I got to take off the Snootson rod over to the axle diagrameter that runs into the piston limiter up to this rod, which is a neutrometer to the clutch pedal. That also has split barrels for the line chutes. But I don't think I can do it just trying to manually twist it, so we got to figure that out. So I got one SAE croissant wrench on here. Then I'm going to take another one and just work them against each other here. And see if I can get this to free up. Oh, I got it. I must have had some leverage on it for some reason. Put this here. Allegedly. Wow. If that That ain't the cutest thing I ever seen. Of course. Now everything has to go back in. Well, the guys hit a roadblock for today. We did get the Champion running. It was a lot of fun pulling it out of the container, drove it around the yard a little bit, got it into the shop here, got the master cylinder in, but I don't have all the fittings I need to finish up the brake system, so I'm actually going to call it for tonight, throw some groceries down the app in the morning, start collecting fittings and some line, and we're going to come back and get these brakes finished up because we've got a long road trip. It runs. We got to get the thing going down the road, though. See you in the morning. Said fitting hunt led me to these. This is all we have in this entire county, so that seems fine. I'm short a lot. So here's what's going to happen. I don't have a bench vise in here, so I couldn't bench bleed the master cylinder last night. So I'm going to use wherever I put the 316 line at and swing it under the door jamb back into the pot and try to bleed that and then hook up the lines. And then I'm going to do wheel cylinders and then snap off the lines to the wheel cylinders, replace the rubber lines. It's brake. I'm doing brakes all day. I have done drum brakes on every inch of this earth, on every type of vehicle, except the 47 Studebaker. Turns out they are highly confusing and weird. I read a manual, it confused me. I read it more, it confused me more. So now I'm just debating whether or not to take this off because it's like a jack-in-the-box. Once it's out, good luck putting it back. Special tool in my behind. It's called a vice grip. Complete. So here's the rear shoe up this side here, and you can see how thick the pad is down here, and it's gone just shredded on the top, and that's from the e-brake being actuated. It pulls on this, which would rock the top part of the shoe back like that. So this tells me not only does this dude not have brakes, it hasn't had brakes for 23 years minimum. Good news, bad news. The good news is we still don't have brakes. The bad news is I got to work on brakes. But look, I have some pedal, which means that the master cylinder surgery we did is working. The fronts work excellent. I failed to replace the rubber line in the back that goes from the frame to the axle because, let's face it, I'm lazy. But here's the thing. It's so constricted, I'm not getting any fluid to all the new drums and hardware and everything in the rear. So unfortunately, I got to crawl back under the car and try to get that rubber line replaced without snapping 3 hard lines. Now I'm going to break all of them. Okay. There was some old brake fluid on one of the lines. Now the ham gravy coming out is what we want to see, not the beef gravy. Found the key. All this actually does is just turn on accessories and everything like that. The starter switch is actually on the floor. This is a 3-pole ignition switch, and we have a 5-pole lawnmower one. This one, the start, is actually cranking here, but the start switch for the Stewed is actually on the floor. Now I could technically use this and just turn it on, and then use the foot switch, but first, because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna try to use my drill bit key and see if I can just turn this with a plier or a screwdriver and avoid having to do any of that stuff, because I just really want to drive it right now. There we go. So now you can see the end of the tumbler is this little flat edge, and it happens to match so now I can just go boop, 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 just like that. See if the switch works. Okay, ignition coming hot. Now. And contact. Nothing. So unfortunately, the starter switch is bad. Starter's hanging up. Like a Swiss watch. Two cylinders are missing. You can hear it. We're still going to try to drive it. Maybe it'll come back around, you know? Could be one of the world's first 4-cylinder Studebakers. If you're handed a lemon, tread it for whiskey, is what I always say. All right, let me show you the tires. They're really awesome. Nope. Hey, check out these hot rods. Traveled Star. Sure. Whatever. They're gonna work. Of course, you have to put the white wall out. I'm not a huge fan of white walls, I gotta be honest, but they do fit some vehicles. And this one, I think it's fitting. Probably should be a little wider, but that's okay. So a guy found a self-serve car wash a couple miles down the road. So we're gonna fire this thing up, slam the hood, jump in, drive it downtown, wash this thing up for the first time in I don't know how long. And then we'll better see what we're working with, and we'll get some miles on this thing. Right. Ah! Like a dream. We are the champions, my friend. I'm gonna leave that. Don't worry about that. All right. Brake check. Oh, wow. I think that's probably the best brakes we've ever had on the show. If I'm being honest, I can't see them. Okay. Struggling to get out of first gear. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be going down the highway with the girl. This is about top speed. What did I hit, 20? It wants to run, but I'm concerned that we've got a couple bent push rods or something going on. And unfortunately, the inspection cover for the valve train is right underneath the intake and the exhaust, so it's not a quick little look like a Ford 300, for example, or a Chevrolet. You can just pop the cover out the other side. You got some work to even take a look. Woo! New record, 28! Man, it's too bad. Car handles terribly, so that's good. But it's fun to drive. It looks neat. Headlightage coming in. Boom. Look at that. We do have headlights. And the brake lights are stuck on. So technically we have tail and brake lights. That's going to do it for tonight. I'm just going to keep working on the car here and try to get some of this stuff off, clean it up, take it right back to the shed. We've got some more work to do on this thing for sure. See you in the morning. Really cool Studebaker Commander Starlight. Check out this glass. It was tucked away in a container here in Oklahoma. Hadn't run in many years. The plate said 1985. After a complete brake job, going through the ignition system, a couple other things, it's officially roadworthy. We drove it last night. We went to the car wash and, well, the paint looks terrible. Now, originally, I had hoped we could road trip this thing all the way back to Vice Grip Garage in Tennessee, but I don't think this little flathead has it in it. However, doesn't mean we can't cruise it around locally. So here's the plan. We're going to put some slick on this thing. Do something with the paint here, do something with the wheels, clean it up a little bit more, address a few small items on the car. We're going to hit the back roads, try to find some cool plastics, some other stuff to look at. We're still going to have a lot of fun. First, let's see if we can bring this paint back around. When this car was first in the container and I glassed at it, I thought maybe it was original paint, but now that it's out, you can clearly see someone just painted the entire car, glass, rubber, trim, and it's a really weird, chalky, old single stage, basically. It's like clay. I'm gonna use some cutting compound, try to get through the oxidation. If we can get some luster out of it without a ton of work, we'll keep going. I did bring some shine around. It's looking pretty good, actually. I am unfortunately out of pads, though. I bought the store completely out. And of course, there's a bunch of old paint just clogging these things up. So I'm going to roll this outside, take a look at it in the daylight. Then I got a few more things to touch up looks-wise. I think we're ready to go cruise again. So I think I'm finished with the paint here. It's good enough to be a go-in-the-town rig. So now I'm going to move on to the tires and wheels. Now normally, a guy throws a package at these cars, spruces them up. Wheels and tires can make or break a project in the looks department. But in this particular case, I don't want to take away from any of this really cool, iconic styling. So I'm just going to throw the original hubcaps back on. But I am going to paint them up a little bit and get that red center back in them, clean them, and that should complete our look. Hey, check this out. They're dry, sharp. Just a little bit of Windex and paint. These look just fine. We got mismatching though. We're gonna put these two that kind of match on this side and the other two that don't match these on the other side. All right, there we go. Sure. Something like that. I did catch wind that right down the road here, I don't know, 10, 15 miles, there's a feller that's got a bunch of old wreckers and cars and trucks and even old buildings that he's restoring. So we're going to jump in the Stewart, go for a cruise, see if we can find this place, check out some old stuff. It really is a shame it doesn't run just a little more gutterist. It would be a lot of fun to road trip this thing. But it's going good. We still got a lot of oil pressure. It's charging. It's running about 190 now. It did get a little hot there, but now we got some wind coming through the teeth. It's doing a lot better. Well, we made it to Jerry's Wrecker Service, and there is a lot of eye candy. It's hard to take it in. There's trucks and wreckers and fuel trucks, and I see a 50 fastback Chevy and a school bus and a diner, and there's a lot. So let's start climbing around this place. Jerry himself is here. Let's dig in. Golly! Look at this Chevrolet. Okay, so I was expecting some old cars, but I did not know they've got a bunch of beautifully restored vehicles. Check this out. Look at this cab over. A 1947 auto transport trailer hooked to it. That would haul 4 classic cars back in the day from Detroit to wherever. Could you imagine muscling that thing around, no AC, out in the middle of absolutely nowhere? Hey, Jerry.
Hey.
How's it going?
All right. How about you?
Good. Thanks for having us out here. This is incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
How many vehicles do you think you have on your property here?
80 vehicles?
Yeah, trucks.
300.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
He's got me beat. Okay, so this thing really stands out for me. This is a 1946 Flexible, and I heard that you took it as a bus and converted it to an RV?
Correct.
And you actually traveled in this thing,
Correct.
I heard.
Yeah, made it in an RV inside. Pretty much like an Airstream laid out.
Well, this is very cool. So obviously you've got a wrecker service, but you're clearly into classic automobiles.
Yeah, that's my, yeah.
You love the Chevys, it looks like.
Yeah.
You've got fastbacks and coupes and business coupes and convertibles and all sorts of stuff around here. Looks like 48 to 52 is kind of your window you
exactly.
like. Yeah. Let's look at this fastback quick. These are my favorite. I love the fastbacks.
Yeah, even in the 4-door, they look good.
They do. Yeah. So how long you had this one?
Oh, I've only had that one about 5 years finished.
I see some sort of rumble seat spare tire back here. What's in that
That's
room?
a 31 Ford 500.
Okay.
One leg.
And 58 million trophies. I'm assuming those are from car shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I got to step foot in your diner a little bit ago, and I've heard of restoring cars and trucks and buses, which is a huge challenge, but actually taking a full diner and restoring it. Did that seem overwhelming? I mean, I wouldn't even know where to start.
No, actually, I enjoyed that probably more than the car. And if you get to look at that diner, it's pretty much like doing a car. It's all metal.
There's so much to look at. I'm getting giddy here. But thanks so much for the time.
Nice meeting you.
Appreciate it so much. And you got a beautiful collection. My goodness. This is just one example of the car community and how they're just always great people. We didn't know Jerry from Adam until just a few minutes ago, but they're just like-minded folks and they're good people. Plus, driving these old classic cars, there's nothing that compares to this. Yes, they're loose and kind of hard to handle and whatever else, but you can actually feel the car. You feel the road underneath of you. You actually have to drive the thing. You know, the manual on the column and four-wheel drum manual brakes and things like that. It is absolutely enjoyable. If you've never done it, give it a shot. If you have one in your backyard or shed or lean-to or garage, stop procrastinating. Get it on the road.
Count to 10, then come and find me. But be warned, I'm not the one who's hiding. Footsteps echo in the street. Shadows dancing, heartbeat heat. They're looking for me, eyes like knives. But I've been dodging fate all my life. Dropped a name, lit the fuse. Now they're out for blood and clues. Truth's a weapon, lies run deep. Welcome to my game of hide and seek. Run fast, breathe slow, never let the target know. One wrong move, the game is done. But I was born to outrun. It's hide and seek in a world of crime. They're chasing ghosts, I'm crossing lines. Every corner, every street. Got a secret under my feet. Can't trust faces, can't trust names. All these players love the game. You want the truth, don't let it speak. I vanish clean in hide and seek. Whispers echo, deals go cold. Allies fold when fear takes hold. I play it cool, no time to crack. But I feel those eyes on my back. Fingerprint white, story tight. Disappear into the night. They think I'm prey, how weak, but I'm the hunter in hide and seek. Run fast, lie low, keep your secrets out of show. One wrong step, they pull the thread. But I stay 3 steps ahead. It's hide and seek in a world of crime. They're chasing ghosts, I'm crossing lines. Every corner, every street. Got a secret under my feet. Can't trust faces, can't trust names. All these players love the game. You want the truth, don't let it speak. I vanish clean in hide and seek. No rules, no second tries. Just alibis and covered lies. I see the snare, I smell the bait. But they don't know they're seconds late. It's hide and seek, and I don't lose. You blink once, that's when I move. Every move, a calculated beat. I'm dancing circles round to see. Watch your back, don't speak my name. I'm the shadow in this game. I'll write the end that no one tweaks. Say goodnight to hide and seek. Found me, too bad. I was never really there.
This time at Roadworthy Rescues, we pull a 55 Pontiac from the grave and put it on the dirt track. Maybe, if I can get it out of here. Hopefully this works. This week we're back in Tennessee. We're rummaging through hubcap hills, and I think it's time we do something with this 1955 Pontiac. This is a really cool car. It's the first year of the Pontiac V8, other than one they rebranded in like 31 or 32. This is a nice 2-door post car. It's pretty complete, but it's going to take a lot to get this thing going and back on the road. But let's walk around it, see what it's going to take, and then devise a plan to get this out of the brush and into the shop. Let's see if we can start in the trunk, actually. Here's something pretty cool. We actually have ignition sticks to this unit. I always like to start in the trunk, see what kind of engine parts we have laying back here. Wow, nothing but a spare that we probably could use. Oh, we got severe weight reduction on the deck lid. Let's just pretend we didn't see that. This is very Buick-esque, this Pontiac style, but it has really cool features like this right here that actually matches the hood on the other side of the vehicle. Speaking of hood, this head thing lights up, which we have to get that working, if nothing else. Open. I don't know how this works, if it's Bluetooth or... There we go. Sweet. That's the Strato Streak. It actually looks a lot bigger than it is, but it almost looks like the Buick Nailhead. It's just a little 287 though. We got completage. Fuel making happeners there. Lightning whirler. Brad's here. Generator. Complete with belt. Probably no warranty on that. I know there's a lot of stuff here, but man, it's gonna need some work. All right, so now let's jump on the inside of this rig and see how that has fared the last 700 million years that this car's been on Earth. Oh. Wow. It smells like a violin full of old dentures. It's got a very woodsy, moist smell. This is really cool. Worth the entire purchase. Steering wheel, dash looks amazing. I loved how beautiful the styling was in the 50s. All the makes did great. They were all very elegant, nice looking. Ah. Old car. What's in it? We got the P for the Pontiac on the hood. We got a knob. We got a button, just in case. I like that. Were these dual cigarette lighters? I think they were. Probably not. I don't know what I'm looking at. It was serviced regularly by Shell. The stickers start here and go all the way down the side. And the door is equally as rotted as the trunk, unfortunately. Ooh. We also got an ankle vent. Severe ankle vent. It's really rusted. Really rusted. That's fine. Okay. That's our Pontiac. So unfortunately, this 55 Pontiac is pretty far gone. Probably too far gone for us to do some sort of restoration in just a handful of days. But I've got an idea that will get it out of the tree still, have some fun with the car and put it back on the road. We can do kind of a 50s NASCAR theme with this thing, and then we don't have to worry and care about all the rust and rot in the floors and doors and trunk and everywhere else. That being said, it's going to be a tremendous amount of work, starting with just getting this out of the trees. So my buddy Chad is back from season 2. He's going to be helping me with this thing. What do you think about this Chieftain?
It's pretty cool. It's got an airplane, you know, a lot of rust.
A lot of rust. Doors don't close, stuff like that. But maybe we could slide this around a track, though, and have some fun.
Yeah. Sounds dangerous, but yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so first thing is probably just try to get some tires on this, get it rolling.
Yeah.
And then we'll find something to drag it out of here, get it up to the shop.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go find some tires. So I often get old cars, hide them back here under the foliage and trees, try to protect them a little bit, but they often lose tires, so this is going to be interesting. Look at the roly-polies. All right, repeat, other side. Jeez, man, you're working way too hard. It's too early for that. So we don't have any documented proof of how long this thing's been off the road, like insurance or registration or plates or anything, but from a guy's experience with automobile archaeology, I'm going to guesstimate 28 to 34.5 years this has been sitting. So this is actually going to be really cool if we can get this thing fired back up and running. One of my biggest concerns right now is this should have some form of Dynaflow transmission. They work great when they work, but when they don't work, there's probably 5 people in this country that know how to rebuild that transmission correctly. I've been through it multiple times with my old Buicks. So we'll have to keep that in mind. If it runs, it's a victory, but actually will it go in gear? Good to go. She's dancing on all 4 paws. Okay, so this is an automagical. We know the front 2 tires turn. We don't know if the rear is locked up or anything with the drive line.
Yeah.
But I've got a diesel Scout that should be able to yank this thing. I'm gonna mow a path through the trees. We'll hook a chain on this. You can get an air tank and a respirator. Steer this, and let's see if we can pull it back to the shop. We got a journey ahead of us. Now we go revive a Scout. There it is.
It's got air in the tires, so that's good.
I can't even remember the last time that thing ran. This is a 1980 International Scout. It's actually a pretty rare one because it has the SD33 turbo diesel. They only made a few of these. Pretty gutless, but it's reliable and 4-wheel drive. Seem to have a reoccurring theme now where we get an international running and pull something else out. Now it's the Pontiac. Okay, this is gonna be sketchy. Hopefully this works. This side's rolling.
This side's locked. Jesus.
Can't see nothing.
It's rolling now.
It is? You want to unhook it? I'll spin around.
Okay.
This way, if you get cooking down this hill, I can grab a gear before we
Bang.
get. So I might get a little. I might grab third. That's all I'm saying. Okay, now we're almost out of the trees. We got to go down a trail, through a hayfield, basically down the road to the shop. Should be fine. Love this old Scout. Utilitarian tractor-like. It gets the job done.
Go! Oh my God.
Got pretty close there. We made it. Okay, now, how do we get it back in the shop? Wow, it rolls really good, actually. That's surprising. Whoa. Ford W. Little ambiance. That was personal. Why is it so poop-like? We've made the trek. The car is in Vice Grip Garage. Now, here's the plan. We don't have one. But I think we should start with seeing if this actually runs first. And it's going to get pretty dicey. But let's get this hood off so we can actually see, get over the fenders, work on this thing. We're going to start with the basics: spark, fuel, compression, probably also check the gears, and we'll probably end up with the least important, brakes. Hopefully it runs. It's been sitting a long, long time. All right, you want to bang on that key and we'll see if this thing spins over?
Yep.
We got a inline light bulb checker doodabber. This bulb should flash if we got sparkles. Fingers crossed. Oh. Okay. It's got vacuum and it's spinning. That's really good news. I was worried this was going to be a boat anchor. I'm going to try to prime this. Hit her again. Oh. Come on. Yes. Come on, girl. It doesn't sound that bad. Valve train came right around. I'm gonna guess it's got oil pressure. I don't hear any clanking or banging. First time running, I'm gonna say in decades. Look at this thing. Oh, that's so cool. Yes! It runs, it's got oil pressure. It must have a lot of oil pressure because the valve train didn't even want to clank or nothing while we were cranking on it for a while. So that is fantastic news. Okay, we got a wheel stop in here. Yep. So I'm gonna bottle feed it again and just jam it and drive and see what happens. Okay. Oh yeah. Woo! Okay, that's a bigger victory than the engine, I gotta be honest. That's solid drive.
Oh yeah, she clicked in there.
Oh man. That just saved like 2 days. It would have been a big project converting this to a power guide. But now we can do fun things like brakes.
Sweet.
Early lunch. Okay, let's get it up in the air and see what the bottom side looks like. So I think where we're going to start is just a lot of the basic maintenance stuff. Try to get this thing running and idling on its own so we can further assess what's going on here. I'm going to drain the transmission, shift machine, they'll go forward, go backwards box. Chad's going to crack the plug on like fuel tank, see if anything is even in there.
Oh, it smells real bad.
That looks like 10W30.
It's like fresh motor oil. Oh, that's brutal.
So we're getting into the Earl filter here. This one's a little bit different. Some of these older rigs, you just have a canister basically, or filter insert would go in the canister and then boop, you just put this up. So eventually, obviously, as automobile progressed, you get the whole thing to spin on. In this case, you keep reusing the can side and just drop this in to change your filter. Ooh, and that is one slimy, not so goodish looking filter. Triple trapper. That's cool. An old triple trapper. Ah. Eyes down, bay one. Triple trapping. Should run like a scalded coyote now. So my earlier estimates of how long this car sat, I think, was poorly misjudged. This car sat so long, the belt has hermetically sealed itself to the pulleys, and we can't seem to get it out. It's a really sweet idea.
Is that a standing wheel on it?
Yeah. What would you use? Yep. This episode of Tennessee Metal. See what I did there? Okay, put that belt on. Let's go home. Boom. Beautiful, man. And that's a green belt. That ain't going nowhere. So I'm gonna redo the ignition system here. Radio resistance. Hyper low. Performance stuff back in the day. Tell you what. Old school AC Delcos. Thing's got about 74 million miles on it. So this is pretty cool, doing some automobile archaeology here. The filter was just an AC, and the plugs are really old school AC as well. You can tell by the color green and the white band as well, and it just says AC. It didn't become AC Delco until 1974. So the plugs and oil in this is 50 years old-ish. It's a long time. Doesn't necessarily mean that's when it was parked, but I doubt these have been run since 1974. That's pretty crazy. I'm gonna basically just start tuning this up, get a new fuel line from the rail to the pump, but we're just inching closer to having this thing sit here and idle. Chad's working hard on the doors. He found out the hard way as I was pulling them with the Scout. They just kind of flopped open and did all sorts of this stuff. I was just gonna barbed wire them closed. He's got glass down and he's digging into latches and levers and mechanisms and all the stuff that I don't have patience for.
All right. Safety.
Okay, we've got new sparkulators in, lightning hoses, basically ignition's been updated. We've pushed air through the fuel line. There's fresh fuel. We know that we don't have any obstructions from the tank up to here, so now we're gonna try to get the mechanical fuel pump to work. I'm gonna bottle feed it. Hopefully we should see fuel spraying out of this. Then I'll plug that in and we'll see if the fuel making happer is gonna make it happen. Whoa. It's pumping. So let me plug this up. It's crazy how this thing is just like slowly coming to life. Okay, give her a go. Uh-oh, again. It sounds like it was turned off yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, the belt's staying on after our Dremel attack. It fires right up. Somehow the starter's hung in there. We've cranked the snot out of that thing. Yeah, there's no accelerator pump. So this is pretty awesome. It actually charges. The generator is working. We're getting like 12.6, 12.7 here, and the gauge in the dashing works. The story we heard was an old timer parked this and then unfortunately passed away. And I think that's probably actually the case. You hear that all the time and it's not, but pretty good old rig. So let me figure out this fuel delivery issue. Luckily, we've got a good old standby 2-jet sitting here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just bolt this on because I know this will have an accelerator pump. Should be able to rev this thing up. And Chad's got the heater hose capped off as well. So we should be able to fill this up with ice cube juice and see how many leaks we have. All right, ready? Sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Temp gauge is working, says it's right in the middle. Says it's charging. Oil pressure's in the middle. Horn kind of works. It's pretty pitiful. I think everything works with the radio and the dome light. Why did that all of a sudden start ripping?
Vacuum? Plug that.
The car is slowly coming alive. I just tried that a minute ago and it was like, yeah. Now, that's a get the heck out of the way. I got a Pontiac. Can almost see out of it. Well, good morning. We had another really late night last night, but we made big progress on the Pontiac.
Yeah, we got the brakes figured out. We got the rear brake drum turned, and now it stops going forward and backwards. So we should be good for some driving around in the track and stuff like that.
We got the master cylinder replaced, and we had to replace a lot of lines. We got a brand new line to the rear, both front sides, the rubber lines, all of that. But it's bled. Feeling pretty confident. And we got the exhaust fixed. We cut off the old muffler. straight pipe through with a little turn down. We're kind of just tootling around with little things here, waiting for Browder to show up. He's going to start hand lettering and painting this car. I have started taping, which that's going to be a big process. We're going to get all the chrome covered because the nanosecond that lettering is dry, we're going to clear coat this thing in and make sure we preserve and protect all that hand lettering for years to come. And then we can finally go enjoy this thing, hit the highway, find a track.
Oh, yeah.
All right, paving, commence. So Browder's here, you remember him, he's done a lot of work for us. He does fantastic lettering, he's an awesome artist. Of course, we had to call him for this one. Now, back in the day, if you're gonna run NASCAR like we were talking earlier, you usually just kick the hubcaps off, tape a pellet to the steering wheel and go racing, but you had to have funds to do this, and people started picking up sponsors and things of that nature, put some jingle in your pocket for the weekend, for fuel and tires and whatnot. We're gonna do the same, and of course, we had to go with Hot Rod Magazine. So Browder did some research, and you combed all of the archives for 55 specifically.
Right.
Obviously 55 Pontiac, but the lettering on the back for the Hot Rod Magazine, that is era specific. And then I'll leave it to your professional opinion what we should do on the hood. If we're going to do the straddle streak, if we're going to do the CI or
Horsepower, sometimes.
horsepower,
Yeah.
or, you know.
I like to brag about that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, while he's doing this side, he'll explain what he's doing. I'm going to go on the other side and start taping. I'm already cramping up.
Okay, so on the hot rod part of this, I went and researched the 1955 magazines. And what I did is I made a pattern, and I perforated where the lines are, and I'll take chalk. This technique dates back to the 1500s when Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel. They restored those paintings in the early 80s, and they found traces of his pounce patterns. That's how we know that. So this is a very old technique, and it's an old sign painter's trick. This is just an oil-based enamel sign painter's paint, and I'm putting a little bit of a tint to it just to kind of get a little bit closer to the red that's on it. And I'm going to apply this so it gives the appearance that it's been on there this whole time, since 1955.
Browder's up on the roof now, putting our driver, and he's going to be putting on there Robert E. Peterson. Now, some of you might be familiar with that name, but it's the founder of Hot Rod Magazine, i.e. the quarter panels back here, and Fast Forward, Motor Trend, and, well, honestly, this show. So I thought it would be really cool to get him up on the car there and be a tribute to him as well. Meanwhile, Chad and I are still taping off. This side is almost done. It's looking fantastic. Once we get some clear on this, it's going to be just amazing. Wait. Well, Browder, once again, you absolutely crushed it. I love how you used the paint that was there and worked around it, and it just looks incredible. Thanks again, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you so
it.
much.
Yeah. Woo! So to complete our look, we've got to change the tires and wheels, obviously. We're going to keep the steel wheel look, but these are really skinny, and obviously the tires aren't holding wind. So we're going to upgrade to some 15x8 steel wheels, and then the BF Goodrich radial TAs. These are two 1570 15s. And of course, you got to do white letter out, right? So we're going to mount these up first, and then I'm going to paint them. It's going to save a bunch of time and hassle. Just lean in, and I'll
Put my face by the side.
just... So the tires we got off the interwebs are way too narrow for our wheels, so we're going to try to stretch these on here. The old school one. Bring the thunder! Didn't work. Hey, look, man, it looked cool. I lost 2 eyebrows. Hit her! Boom! That's how it went. Gloss black is what we're gonna go with. It tied in the rust, like the age of the car, the shadow on the 55. It just made it look really cool. We're gonna let these sit for the night. The car's got to dry for the night as well, all the lettering and everything that Browder did. And then in the morning, we're gonna clear coat it. These will be drying mean whilst. We'll mount them up. But I think we're gonna try to drive this thing to the track. Garage gets a whole new studio. We get a bouncy castle. Well, Browder's artwork has fully dried. Now it's time to get this car into our professional paint booth and put some clear coat on this. And by professional, well, you've seen us use garden sheds and pop-up tents and everything. We really stepped her up this time. Guy went on the interwebs and found a blow-up spray booth. It's like an adult bouncy house, basically. Yeah. It's got like a mini bar area in the back. I don't know, it's pretty cool. We're gonna roll this out in there, quick wipe it down once over with some, I don't know, Earth Ghost juice, something, clean it up because of our handprints and all that. And we also have a bunch of bugs and mosquitoes and stuff like that that I don't necessarily want in the paint forever. Chad's actually gonna lay a coat down. He's never done it before. I'm gonna show him how easy it is. And then I'm gonna lay a second coat down. And then we're gonna call that good enough and go to lunch. As far as product goes, we're going to be using the Vice Grip Garage wipe-on clear coat, but you can also spray it if you want. We're going to be mixing the gloss and then the Vice Grip Garage matte clear, and we mix both of these equal parts. We're going to get more of a satin, so it's not going to be super shiny. It's not going to have that kind of dull sheen. Should land somewhere in the middle, and then of course we're just going to add our catalyst. It's an 8-to-1, so we'll have 8 parts clear, 1 part catalyst. Mix these up. I'll do several cups. Chad's never sprayed it before. I'm going to hand it over to him, let him put a coat on. We'll let that flash off, and then we'll do it one more time. We are going to wear a respirator. We do have a fan in our bounce house pulling some of the air out through some makeshift filters, and should turn out pretty good. Keep on rocking. Chad's doing really good. Guys, don't be afraid to do this stuff at home. It's not rocket science. Well, there's science, but it's not rocket science. And it's just clear coat. If you mess it up, you just sand it down and do it again. This is going to look great. It already has a nice satin sheen. It'll dry a little bit duller, but it's looking awesome. Great job, dude. Feel the rust blowing? Oh, yeah. Seal it in. Yeah, we wanted to get that in there. It's the 3D effect. Now we just let it bake in the bake booth. Higher than Snoop Dogg and Mount Everest. Woo! Hey, the car has baked. It's dried. It looks absolutely incredible. The rust, you can see this really darkened up. The shadow looks great. And it brought a lot of this red back. Remember how there was such a big contrast between the hand painted and what was here? Now they virtually match. And it just tied everything in beautifully. And the best part is this awesome art here is going to be protected now for years and years to come. So we're going to roll it outside of the booth here. It's about 317 degrees in here. Get it back into the shop. And then I think that's it for the looks department. Okay, so got the car back on the lift. Chad's going to put the new tires and wheels on. Okay, get out of there. Easy. That's just hot rodding, dude. While he's doing that, I'm gonna throw sparks at the fuel tank right now. We have a fuel delivery issue. What happens a lot of times is varnish, rust, old gas, it gets just congealed into like a jelly in the pickup tube or the screen itself. like this is shot. Shouldn't sound like the rising tide in there. It's full of rust. Okay, I guess we're putting a fuel cell in because race car. Okay, that's vacuumed. Then we're going full race car. Cut the trunk out of this thing, throwing in a fuel cell. We're going to swing a fuel line around, plug that back into the original fuel line that I snapped off, trying to get the old fuel cylinder out. Okay, digital fuel pump's wired in. So when we turn the key, that should pump. Ta-da! Fuel system. Oh, gee, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot, Chad.
Yeah.
Jesus. It's gotta pass tech. Tact. We're gonna see if this thing's gonna pull fuel, fire up and run. Hopefully so. We don't have time to test drive it. We're just gonna have to basically try to drive to the track tomorrow. No, this thing's gotta pull fuel. Hold on. Come on. Come on. Come on. There it is. We're good to go. We're gonna head back to Thunder Hill Raceway Park. You guys remember the bare metal Bel Air? Same track. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We might even try to post up some times. Chad versus me in the old 55. Well, we have successfully made it to Thunder Hill Raceway. This is a quarter-mile track, and get this, the bank angle is 33 degrees, which is actually more than the famous Bristol track. This is going to be a lot of fun. Racetrack here, don't go off that side over there. Now, this is cool. This is what they did back in the day, and we've been saying this, but we dug this out of the trees, put some basic maintenance items on it, kicked the hubcaps off, and we're here just to do some fun racing, go around the track. Maybe try to keep it off the walls because we got to get home in it.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, otherwise it'll be wrecked. I won't get to go.
Good point. Take the helmets in it. Have fun.
All right. Oh, I don't know if this is extra large. Oh, I look like an idiot.
This is Chad's first time ever driving the car, so we might as well do it on the dirt track. Go fast, turn left. Okay, we'll get the stopwatch going. He's gonna try low gear and high gear. He wants to hunt in between the two. Oh, it looks so cool. Sorry. Look at the front tire. It is rough out there. It is bouncing like a basketball. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. They used to tape stuff into the seats to make you not slide, but he'll figure it out. 29.33. I can't remember what we were running in the bare metal Bel Air. I think it was slightly faster. But this one looks way better, let's be honest. Giver! Feed her the onions! Visors are all shook down. 29.47. Consistent little devil. I can't do math, but that's really close. That was his fastest. It looks so good. Imagine 20 cars that look similar ripping around. Look at the intense look. Really dialed in. 28.44 is probably a record. Oh, pit stop. Is it getting hot at all? Still has oil pressure? Sweet, dude. Dude, the front tires look like they're about to rip off this thing. They're bouncing off the ground.
Right here, it's so rough. It's like everything's fine.
Those look cool. You ran really consistent.
You have like a pry bar to get this off, or? It survived. It was pretty shaky. Especially there's massive potholes right here, but other than that, it wasn't too bad. I mean, the front tires pushed a little bit, but now I got it tacked up for you. It'll probably be able to just...
Okay. Got the track dialed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like a child's medium. Were you in low?
Yes, just leave it low.
Yeah!
Oh my god. It does bounce.
I can't tell if I'm going fast or not. Was hanging out, but it was. There's the bumps. Man, these guys, nerves of steel back in the day. They'd race on sand, asphalt, concrete, dirt, mud. It didn't matter. They just wanted to go fast. I gotta try to figure out this corner.
Faster. 2706 is that one. Now he's sending it.
Oh, it automatically shifted. I could just only imagine being door to door with cars like this. Very little control. Oh, it had to have been just a hoot.
I accidentally deleted it, so now I don't know what it was that you ran.
Oh, that's all right.
Just kidding. Lap 9, you ran at 2482.
It's hard to stop.
Smells.
She's hot.
Smells like brakes real bad.
I was double footing it.
Oh.
Trying to get the front to...
I seen you start taking the higher line.
Yeah. Could you imagine being within 20 cars, just like... You know, some of them are smoking cigars, like...
The tires are off the ground half the time.
I
so
know.
When you turn, you're like, is it actually turning?
Do you see what I'm talking about? The front?
Oh my god. It looks way more violent, though, than it feels in the car, I think.
Well, she was just floating out there. That was really cool. That was a lot of fun. There's so much rust falling everywhere. Well, there you have it. For a little of nothing, we pulled this 55 Pontiac out of the trees, got it running again, made it to the track, drove to the track, we raced it around the track, and now we're actually going to drive it home. Put some basic maintenance items on it, spark plug wires, cap, rotor, brake master cylinder and ran some new lines, rubber hoses. We put a fuel cell in it. We never touched the coolant, not even the hoses or anything. None of the shocks, none of that stuff. We did throw on some white letter BFGs, some 15x8 steel wheels, the beautiful artwork by Browder, and then the Vice Grip Garage clear coat just transformed this car entirely. Never even touched the interior, but that's what's great about this is for basically nothing. We have a fun running, driving classic back on the road.
That looks great.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Roadworthy Rescues, but be sure to stay tuned. There's plenty more to save. Hey, we rented this track. We might as well use it up.
Absolutely.
Do some more laps?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, let's do it.